Then you're in lowers and you're like, okay, don't mess this up. We're going to be out if we even lose one more game.
That's the attitude you need to have from the winners bracket, absolutely. You know, lower bracket, there's still potential to win through. You know, we'll see OG tomorrow, starting from the lower bracket, but they, you know, they've done that run before. Not at TI, but other tournaments.
Yeah, it was a major.
Yeah, but I do think it is really important. It's really important that you actually do keep calm when you even when you're like right now, like Kuro and Team Liquid. I think they just need to be calm and push their advantage in the early game like they always do, and that way they can get off to a good start.
We'll see if they can pull it together. Game 2 is now underway. Team Liquid 1 game from elimination, and Team Secret is on fire. Take it away, casters.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Witch Doctor.
Team Liquid's turn.
Oh, that's right, casters. It's not your turn yet. Nobody's been drafted. Let's look. We have a single Witch Doctor coming in for Team Secret, and of course the ban on both Coddle and Wisp.
They seem to do this Witch Doctor first pick when they expect the enemy to like him. Yeah, that's what they did versus Execution.
10 seconds remaining.
Them open for lots.
We thought maybe Team Secret would lean towards picking Wisp, Coddle, or Shaker themselves, but instead they chose to ban out Wisp and Coddle, and then Team Liquid did them the favor of banning out the Shaker. So all 3 of the potential power heroes that we discussed in the last draft will not be present in this.
I just kind of wanted to talk about like how good they're drafting with this GH, and maybe they like eventually had enough. Like we can't keep first picking this hero and trying to make our lineup work around it. Like Miracle had played like 14 or 15 heroes, different players, and they're just trying to fit in to GH's playstyle. And now they're like, yeah, Lycan is a good hero, Night Stalker's a good hero.
Yeah, I mean, this lineup that we see out of Team Liquid, this is exactly what we've been seeing out of a lot of the group stage games. We saw it early in the winners bracket yesterday. Let's go with Night Stalker and Lycan, make sure we have good vision for pickoffs thanks to Night Stalker. Let's make sure we have great push with Lycan, not going for right-click builds, but instead favoring the Necronomicon.
Yeah, this is what we saw IG beat Liquid with. They went for the Night Stalker Lycan, and we've seen it like multiple times. Yeah, they did. They had very good execution. I like the Batrider up against the Lycan. In general, it's a very tough lane stage for Lycan to match up against the Batrider. He doesn't have many options. And I'm a little bit surprised, maybe not so much surprised, I'm just curious because Night Stalker is not one of the heroes that I'm used to seeing GH on, but I think he can perform on that hero as well.
He's played it a little bit this tournament, and it is a hero that he can be active and have an impact on, which I do like for him.
I mean, he has 9.8k MMR, right?
Yeah, he can.
Hopefully he can play this Night Stalker.
He can handle it. I think it's. Let's not worry about GH. GH is going to do GH things. I'm worried about the rest of Liquid.
No, I think like I said earlier, right, that maybe they've been drafting too much around GH, but the reason is like, you know, they've won these games where he's playing one of these heroes and he's just way too good on it.
How do you feel about the Lycan into the Witch Doctor? You know, Day9 was talking about the Necronomicon making a comeback on this hero, but that cask, the paralyzing cask, stuns those summons for quite a long time.
It goes both the ways though, I feel like. At some point, sometimes when you're this Lycan, you run up to a Witch Doctor and, you know, he disappears.
Yeah, you know, 2 or 3 shots.
You've been there. You've been there. You know,
like my positioning's usually pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
that doesn't happen to me.
Gotcha. I think it can go both ways. If the Witch Doctor, if you manage to get to some Ghost Scepter or something, it can be nice. But I think Secret are they're investing in having good lanes, and I like this approach because I think that's what Team Liquid almost always does. I feel like Team Liquid, they rely a lot on having some quirky heroes that kind of put them ahead in the lane stage, and this allows them some time to get Miracle farm. And with this farm, they kind of take over the game.
This is also where Liquid has really done well in the group stage of this tournament, is this split push, summon style of Dota, and that's exactly what they're going to want here with the Night Stalker and the Lycan. Yeah, we see the bans from Secret, Puppey being so smart, banning out both Broodmother and Furion.
I mean, it's like Wisp, Coddle, and Broodmother are all 3 heroes that we've seen Team Liquid do amazing things with this tournament.
I think Puppey's done a great job this series adapting to his opponents, even yesterday as well in their match versus Execration. He really drafted, banned, and picked according to what his opponents liked, and that's a sign of a true drafter, or a good drafter, and at TI it's very, very important to play on your matchups. A lot of times other tournaments throughout the year, you're very focused on yourself and building, and then the meta is always changing, but here at TI you have this huge group stage to learn from. You come into the main stage with your biggest guns.
He's had a few years of experience.
He's been around quite a while. It's not his first rodeo, that's for sure.
How long has Puppy been playing?
Dota 1? 10, 12 years?
15 years?
More than 12, I think.
Since it started, like he's and he's been at the top level
since the dawn of time.
Since the dawn.
IceFrog crafted Puppy right when he created Dota All-Star.
I really think this Witch Doctor pick is interesting because it seems like you pick it and like these heroes are so good, this Night Stalker and Lycan, that they feel forced to pick him anyway.
I've seen this a couple times from especially like VP. They first pick Witch Doctor or Ogre, very like neutral heroes that don't tell a lot about your draft, and then the second pick Batrider, which is a hero we find the slot being picked in a lot with that fourth pick, and then because it leads you into 2 more bans, but they chose to ban out summon heroes rather than bat counters, so we see the Oracle come out for what I would assume would be Kuroki?
Yeah.
And that's Oracle's ultimate can dispel Lasso immediately and from a pretty long distance.
And also in the lane, the stickies, if they add up too much. So is that a position 4 slot with them?
No, the thing they might do, like if the Liquid's draft keeps going like this, like every hero is extremely good against Batrider, they might just want to put it on Japsar.
I don't know if you've seen Yapsar play a Batrider.
How many? No, he did it once.
Yes?
It didn't go too well, but
they got a game to lose, right? So you can risk it a little bit.
No, but the other thing, right, the standards, like if you have a Lycan and a Batrider, you kind of just want the Batrider to win. But Oracle makes it a bit more complicated. I've seen Kessu do this before though, so I think that's what they're going to do.
That's where I've seen Lycan struggle in this tournament, is when he doesn't get a good start in the laning phase. He just doesn't have that same kind of impact. The team builds up all these armor items and 4 staffs, and they ended up just kiting Lycan around for the little damage he's able to connect.
I mean, the problem with the Lycan Oracle lane is that they can't really kill the Batrider, right? Like if the Batrider is up there alone, he's gonna get a little bit of stuff, and you're trading 2 heroes for 1.
Is there any chance they put the Lycan in a different lane, say mid or something? Put that Snake Man up there, Venomancer?
Depends on the matchup.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, they have the last pick, right?
Yeah, last pick is gonna go to Liquid here. Secret's gotta pick 2 heroes.
Chaos Knight.
CK, an Illusion hero. I've seen Illusion heroes do very, very well against Venomancer. He just doesn't have a lot of AoE other than his ultimate.
None of Team Liquid's heroes have very good AoE.
No,
it's the Venomancer ult, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, you need the AoE stun most
10
of all.
seconds
If you slowly deal damage with the Poison Nova, you're all gonna be dead.
Especially when CK gets up to having like a heart, like that Venomancer ult's just gonna tickle him.
No, they don't have much lane push either, right? So they're gonna have to fight if they don't fight.
So far we all kind of like where Secret are right now?
I don't feel too strongly about other side right now. I think Liquid's getting a little bit more back to their roots, which I like to see. Still not picking very many disables though. 0 stuns so far, once again from Team Liquid, which
5 seconds.
Look over here, we have 4 stuns from Secret.
Yeah.
I think stuns are important.
I also do. I've always been a big advocate of stuns. It makes the game easier. Like Dota is a hard game, and it's hard to play Dota with people, but when you can stun someone, they're standing still, and you can just attack them. You
got that cool little stun bar now. That's
chain stunning. Yeah,
like made our jobs way easier.
Yeah, and the way it pans out in pubs is that every single person on your team waits for that first bar to go, and then you have 4 stuns stacked on the same person.
Yeah, it's, at least you didn't stack them all at once.
I know, right? Now, Chaos Knight is a hero we saw OG do amazing things with yesterday, and Chaos Knight is also so hard to stop once he gets farmed up, but of course with no good cleave, with not a particularly good way to farm, he'll need to be participating in lots of those mid-game ganks and fights.
I just feel like, is this Venomancer?
Oh, it's gonna be Venomancer offlane actually.
Is this, yeah, because is this the hero you want to give Miracle on, like, potentially?
No.
Do you want to give him Venomancer? Doesn't feel like it, right?
Are you Dragon Knight here? How do you feel? They banned out Invoker, which we saw OG last night. They ran CK Slardar and Invoker,
I think it looks strong right now.
You like DK?
I think it looks strong. Potential, could be some, I don't know, Necropause or something. I'm not sure how they would lane that, but...
Timbersaw banned, that makes me think they want to melee mid. Oh, Phantom
Yes, a comfort hero.
More illusions.
More illusions and no AoE from...
No, it has to be Miracle, right?
Yeah, and he needs to be able to clear some AoE. Sven is banned out from...
They're fast though. Here we go.
That's something.
I've gone out on an Alchemist before, man.
They got their first stun of this series, yeah.
Well, at this point in time, Miracle is mid with Alchemist. Let's see if he can have one of his first games on the main stage where he is the core carry to bring his team to victory. Or will Team Secret close out with a convincing 2-0. Now that the draft is actually done, I give you casters permission to start your commentary.
Thank you very much, Sean. I almost had a heart attack in my rush to put on my headset when he said commentators.
You were just, you know, getting ready, prepared, and suddenly the draft is beginning and going to us.
Sean, you can't kill us that easy, much as you might try. Dota is alive, and so too, at least for now, our team Liquid here, Lumi. But
for now,
is this the draft?
I mean, this is a very risky draft. I think it might have been the best pick they could have gone, because if they try to go for an AoE stun like the panel suggested, think of Lena, something like that. I don't think it's going to be enough by herself to handle both Chaos Knight and PL. So they're saying, look, forget about the stuns. We're going to just beat you in a different avenue. And that different avenue is going super late with Alchemist, and hopefully they could dodge all of the ganks, all of the fights up to that point.
Is it a good out game? Like when you look at Alk, it's like how early can he farm? You know, is he going to be able to stay alive? Who can he give Aghanim Scepters to? Yeah, do you think this is a good out game?
No, I don't think it's a good out game, because you know you got a lot of physical damage coming your way. However, you do have Oracle, which is one of the best Alchemist partners. You know, you throw that False Promise, you got a ton of heal just from the regen. It's not a good draft, but it's a draft that they have to play.
All right, let's see if Team Liquid can make it work. Backs against the wall. They got to take 2 here if they want to stay alive. They'll search for that.
So many storylines with these two teams.
I know. There's some. I think like the first big storyline for me is just these young guns that have taken their teams deep in this tournament. You know, we saw the profile of Miracle. He has been here before, but you've got GH, and of course I think for Yapsor, like his first
two of the most talented
shot at TI, where he could potentially make a deep run with his team, and they have both had amazing tournaments up until this point.
Yapsor was saying at his winning interview yesterday, you know, both him and Miracle from Jordan, after this game, perhaps after this series, one of them are going home, so representing the home country a little bit.
Good news for the Jordanian fans is one of them will be moving on, so they have someone to root for if they're very...
Yeah, he was saying, you know, he knows a lot of people from home will be watching this match, so it's...
A lot of people around the world are... I mean, that's just one storyline. You've, of course, got Puppey versus Kuro. Puppey draws first blood and gets that initial jab off, but we'll see if Kuro can respond here. Beyond that, I guess, Lumi, we're going to look at the lanes now. So it was a 5th pick PL. There isn't a whole lot of illusion clear. That's something the panel mentioned briefly. You talked about it not really being a good out game. Is it a good PL game?
For sure. You have no illusion clear. You could jump in and without... There's so few stuns. There's 1 stun to be exact on the side of Team Liquid that, you know, you could be very bold with the way that you play with your double ganger and things like that. So it's a great PL game.
So look at the way the lanes are being set up now. Secret are going to run the safe lane Batrider for Kezu. They go aggressive, dual, maybe tri-lane, depending on where Yapsor opts to spend his time. I love Yapsor already. Creeping around near mid, he's got the boots. He has skilled up the crush. Does not seem like he's really going for a courier snipe here. More interested in the early harass. The game plan from Secret seems to be, don't let Miracle have a good time. And so far, well, it's certainly working in that regard. Already 2/3 of his health gone.
Yeah. Surprised there wasn't a Phantom Lance. I guess Midrun felt that he was going to be able to right-click for more damage.
Did skill the rush up early here, and they are going to rotate GH now as...
Yeah.
Of course, they do have a little bit of assist here.
Kuro needs to TP bottom as well. This lane is not going to be possible for a Lycan on zone. And something that panel touched on is that they haven't seen a Lycan do well when the lane stage don't go well for him.
Certainly tough to balance your resources and make sure both of them have a good start. And of course, the other nice thing, I guess, for Liquid, what might help salvage these lanes is that the Veno is a very difficult hero to pressure, even for a Batrider.
Yep.
You see this Veno playing rather aggressively early on. No points in the Plague Warp, but got to imagine it is coming soon. As Matumba Man in danger in the bottom lane, almost taking down to the Maldic. Forces out the Kuro TP, and he will pop on that last tick.
Liquid, or level 1 Maledict is not something that does a ton, but they did a lot of damage onto him before that point, so...
Oh, that is costly. And I think even worse, Lumi, like, we also see the TP coming in, so...
Lane switch.
He does, I guess, get the experience out of this Kuroki, but now opens up some opportunities elsewhere as they try to pressure Kezu in the top lane, the Batrider. Being harassed a bit, even for now at least, committing the Howl. And as you mentioned, it will be a full-on lane switch here. Mind Control is going to evacuate top.
But here's the thing, you're switching a Lycan into a Batrider lane. Like, is that any better?
That might even be worse, arguably.
Yeah, I mean, Batrider has the level advantage.
Matumba Man doesn't even have boots, so if Kezu stacks like, let's say, 4 or 5 stacks onto Matumba Man, you could just run him down. They're actually going to dual lane up top here. They fire off the Gale, but the tower is smartly choosing to attack Mind Control, so they can't even dive him there either.
Genius tower. Kezu thanks you for your service. They start to descend on mid. They're looking for the miracle kill. Good Void comes out, keeping YapzOr out of range of Crush, but now the Lance follow-up. That should secure it with MP joining the party. Multiple core lanes, apparently the order of the day, as they are still dual laning top with Mind Control. Almost transitioning into that support role. Kuro is just being given the bottom lane solo. He says, I'm going to carry this one.
Oh, the 2 captain wants a true 1v1. Let's go. 5 position supports, last hitting. Get in there, boys.
The Kuro puppy fight. A thing of dreams. Only at TI7. Yeah. Only at TI7.
I mean, to be serious for a second, though, like, this is not the way that Team Liquid wants to have their lanes. They have a 1 and 3rd position player laning together at the top lane. Mind Control's playing the zoner here.
I don't think they're going to go on Kezu again. The pressure continues. He does have the Firefly, though. Do they actually want to dive for this? They try to take him down, force out that TP, and Puppey is here looking for the response. Lays him with the Maledict, but Kezu probably too low to chase this out. Lobs with the Flame Break. Mind Control did stick up. Probably should be fine, but that Maledict packs a punch. Maybe not. One more hit.
Woo! Okay.
Panic TP didn't actually even get into the fountain there initially, but fortunately for him, he will survive. It's so uncommon to see 2 cores laning together that we just assumed it was a lane swap. Like, you really never see this in Dota nowadays.
Yeah, this shows that Team Liquid has really lost in terms of what they could be doing in the lanes. And I think Team Secret is just one step ahead. Like, look at this move by YapzOr. Like, he knows that, hey, stack's coming, he's going to block it. I feel like Team Secret is just one step ahead everywhere.
They are getting pretty heavily out-farmed as well, with the Cast Knight already at 20 CS. YapzOr is being pursued, though, as that first nighttime clicks in, and perhaps... Oh, no, YapzOr denying him the Arcane Rune, as he does get the crush off. Still the pursuit. GH very committed, and he will get the kill. Salvaging the game, keeping Liquid in it for now. Try to batten down the hatches a bit here. The good news, Limmy, Miracle is farming well. All the crazy lane shenanigans we saw earlier, it has allowed him to just sit mid and hit creeps, and now he's getting a little assistance from GH as the Howl comes out, continues to pursue, and mid one looks to answer back a lot of damage with that first Spirit Lance. TPs are coming in. Puppey's going to rotate. Even that is just opening up the other lanes. So this first nighttime, getting Liquid back in the game.
Before things get a little bit too crazy, I do want to mention that Liquid once again does have the combination of Night Stalker and Lycan. You can just turn into Night anytime you want with the Darkness, and then of course it makes the Howl doubly effective during Night. So a little bit of small something, but something that they have to count on.
Mind Control, does fog them, at least for now, but YapzOr on the case, gets up the crush. Kuro coming in, looking for the save. The Maledict's there, and it is already level 2. GH arriving as well, but he's running into 3. Not sure this is a fight he wants to take. In fact, YapzOr was looking for the second kill. Crush was still pulling down, gets away to safety. Mid one continues to bully Miracle, who does not have his level 6 yet. Has to be careful he doesn't overplay his hand. Bit behind in the experience department as YapzOr lurks, waiting for GH to come through, but actually Liquid have brought 3. He needs to get out of here. Gale comes in, and with that, Liquid score another kill. Climbing back into this game. This nighttime has really salvaged things.
It has. And there's still 2 minutes left of it, so let's see if GH could do a little bit more.
Overall, for Secret, is this expected that you're going to struggle this first nighttime? Are you at all worried if they're them? Are there any adjustments they need to make in your eyes?
I feel like they played the first 4 minutes very well. I think they definitely got way more kills than they should have gotten with the heroes that they have. Hold that thought here as Puppey will have to turn on the heal as he runs away from GH, but perhaps a bait. Flies over.
Flapping away, but the Maledict is going to take him down. And Puppey has been a force on this Witch Doctor, and he was a force in game 1.
Yeah, what a skill build coming out from Witch Doctor as well. 2 points in Maledict, 1 point in Voodoo, and 1 point in Cast. This is definitely not the standard build, but hey, he's finding it, correct use for every single situation.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, like, the standard Lycan build is not to get the Wolves early, so, even if he needs the Cask later, he'll have time to go back for that.
Yep.
And Witch Doctor's heal and Cask are both pretty decent value points as far as they go. Like, just getting that stun in and of itself is a huge upgrade for the hero. And
sure.
The heal level 1 is quite strong.
Oh my god, this is a huge play by the Bat Rider. He's stealing the stack away from the Alchemist.
Bone7 is smiling. This is a move.
This is what he does.
Dates back to him.
Yep. Oh, there you go. There goes that Alchemist stack. That's like 200 gold.
On mid. They want Miracle. It's Chemical Rage on cooldown, but in comes GH. Looking for the assist now. Puppy's the one who's run over. GH again making the movements once more. GH trying to play the hero, and GH doesn't quite get mid one, trying to take it down.
One more hit.
GH is a goddamn hero. He scores the kill. He'll pay with his life, but well worth it for the PL. Mind Control, though, might have overextended. Indeed, he will. So the Venomancer drives by. He's going to die in the lane. I mean, you can't ask for more from GH. This guy single-handedly dragging Liquid on his back into the game.
Yeah, and he has to do so because their lanes are just so bad the way that they were constructed. And they are in the game. Miracle does have the boots finish, upgrade, excuse me, going for the standard armlet. He's now going to go into the jungle and get the bad news that, hey, my camp's taken. Again, Team Secret, even though they give away a couple kills in the nighttime, I still feel like that was okay, especially the fact that Batrider took that stack away is what gives me the win for Team Secret.
Technically, Liquid, their first lead of the game, at least their first substantial tick towards one. They have completely erased that early Secret progress. But now we enter the next phase. It is, again, daytime. Secret can use this time to farm up. We're going to see MP building towards a fast armlet here on the Chaos Knight as the mid one continues to pressure the mid lane. Has the Arcane Runes, so those very low cooldown spears keep on getting pumped out. It's going to force GH to TP away. Not a scary creature at this time. The Secret look to ramp up the push. Not the best pushing lineup, Lumi. That's something Secret really do struggle with outside of perhaps the Phantasm. That they have to get an overwhelming advantage to take these structures down.
Not a good pushing paper on lineup, but then what if like they just put illusions in front of your building? What is Team Liquid's answer? They don't really have one, so...
It's slow progress, but...
It will eventually take down the building.
They do chip it down, only to half HP, but nonetheless, progress for them. As elsewhere, Liquid are using this time to farm out. Mind Control trying to get back in the game, only a 2k net worth. Venomancer, with all the rotations he had to make, is just maxing out the Plague Wards. We're not going to see the extra points in Gal and Sting we saw from the mid-Veno previously.
Gonna go for mid one on the mid lane, but again, there's so very little control for him. He just jumps away.
Now a Smoke, Secret making their play. They want Matumba Man. Does have the Shape-Shift. They're going to have to change stun him. The lasso's available. They want the Wolf, and they'll get him, at least initially, pulling him up onto the high ground where Puppy is lurking with the Maledict. The Crush comes through. Crow to the rescue, though. I don't think Matumba Man dies just yet, and now he chases forward. Wants a piece of Puppy, looking for vengeance. The Witch Doctor's overextended, but YapzOr trying to at least get the time out there. Not going to happen now. YapzOr on the run as well. They hound him. They pursue in force. A little bit too far. They are going to back away now, and on the chase is MP. Back the other direction we go. Ping-ponging onto Mind Control. The short duration stun, and now gets up the poison over the Crush. Connects on only one. The Snake Man's down. Secret going to back away for now. But this is all buying time.
Yeah, this is a
Miracle is farming.
Very good fight for Team Liquid. You know, like you mentioned, Miracle hasn't even needed to join any single fights. I think Team Secret definitely overestimated what they could have done taking a fight at the enemy shrine. Great TP coming in from Kuroki tapping that shrine. And once that shrine is activated, that Maledict really doesn't do much of anything. So good 1-for-1 trade for Team Liquid. And checking on Miracle's farm, he's up to 1500 with Armlet and Treads upgraded. Hey, they might be actually able to do it.
And looking at the tower now, Glyph gets forced out. No darkness available. It is still daytime. Imagine Liquid might want to wait to fully contest this, but with the catapult, hell, they might try it now. Chemical Rage active. DD Rune can be popped. Last hit to Miracle. Give him almost 2,000 gold halfway to the Relic.
Can he make it out, though?
But can he get away? It certainly seems that case.
Okay.
Who's the big boy now? Miracle just absolutely shreds him, and the chase goes forward, looking for more.
Well, I don't know if Miracle's going to pop off this game, but that's a good start, you know? Tower last hit.
Doing it during daytime as well. Secret just not respecting him.
Top lane looks like they're trying to make a dive for Matumba Man, but no blink just yet here on the Batrider.
KheZu did opt to go for the drums first. Flying out now. And mid one also rushing the Diffusal Blades. Not even going to upgrade the boots here. Go for any stat items outside the Aquila. Just let's get that Diffusal out as quickly as possible.
Moving on from this point in the game, I think Kuro's positioning in fights is going to determine whether Team Liquid has a chance or not this game. He is public enemy #1. He's the one that's providing the spells as well as save for the rest of the team. And there's so many heroes that could easily get behind him. You know, of course, mid one with his Diffusal Blade, Chaos Knight with Reality Rift, as well as the Slaughter kind of just coming in the back line. So,
speaking of that Slaughter, GH again on the prowl here. Has the phase boots picked up. Always a threat to flap over the trees. So when is Secret's next move? Is the Diffusal Blade the armlet at that point? Do you just go? Do you start taking those fights? Or?
I think you're waiting for the blinks from Slaughter or the Batrider.
Okay.
You really need a hard initiation to find the right target, whether that is Kurogi or somebody else, and go for the quick kill. I think if you're relying on Diffusal Blade or drums, that's not fast enough to get the right initiation off, and Liquid can come in, you know, whether via tower TPs or just good positioning of their own to kind of take a good fight. You don't want to fight into an Alchemist lineup when you don't have enough, because if you just die to an Alchemist lineup, you just give him more time to farm, and that's a recipe for disaster.
So Puppey does continue to just keep on maxing out this Maledict. Now level 3. Still only the 1 point in the cast, and could become very relevant here as Matumba Man is building towards the Necro book. This has increasingly been the more popular build. We've seen a lot of players shying away more and more this tournament from the Armlet Mask of Madness. GH prowls, Dire Jungle. Looking for that next opening. Diffusal Blade is nigh. MP's Armlet, only a few creeps away, so those two big early combat items for Secret about to come out. But Liquid the ones on offense. Grouping up behind Miracle, they look for this tier 1 top. With the tower falling, Radiance will be nearly complete. Back Puppey, in a bit of danger, lobs out the Maledict, but then gets silenced up and GH pursues onto the high ground. Really wants to force it, perhaps he's been baited in a bit too far. Cast coming out, Maledict ticking in, and will pay with his life.
Space created.
But space for the tower.
I mean, you just dove into a tier 3 for a 1-for-1 trade, and you got 2 teleport scroll from a 4 position.
And you got the tower, you got the Radiance.
Give him that chat wheel, man. Space created. Well done. And he needs to do that. Space.
He's not that guy. He lets us play do the talking.
Well, Miracle has the Radiance online, 14 minutes and 30 seconds with Treads upgraded as well as Armlet. Not the best time ever, but very, very serviceable given how the laning stage went, right? Remember, you gotta keep in mind that Matumba Man got first blood at bottom, or he got killed bottom. They had to lane with a Veno for a while. That was just not a good start. They're still in the game.
Definitely not a part of the plan, but it's working out all the same for Liquid. However, the change-up could be upon us momentarily as they look for GH here. Amp damage coming through. Kezu, no blink though. Can't wrangle the vampire.
Kezu's not going for blink. He's going for a Yule Scepter. What do you make of that?
The Night Stalkers.
No. I mean, but you're a Batrider. Your job is to initiate. I guess he feels that, look, there is an Orgo on the other side. He gives respect to Kuro that he feels that he won't be able to get off very reliable initiation. That he just want to itemize in a different manner, but then you have a Batrider not at 100%.
The Slardar is about to get it. So Yapzor very close to his blink, and to be fair, like their lineup's good at chasing, right? With the PL, Diffusal Blade, even Chaos Knight, a decent chaser.
I mean, you're just putting a lot of stock on that Slaughter being able to get that initiate off.
Well, they got the scan that might give them the opportunity here. At the same time, it's nighttime, and GH knows. He can see when Secret is creeping towards that ward. So Liquid constructing a fairly safe push here, plopping down the Serpent Wards. And now Darkness falls. Do they commit? Liquid thinking about it. Secret still want to hold this tower. They conga line through the trees. Yapzor in position for his blink debut. Can he sneak up? Kuro would be an ideal target. The smoke actually, I believe, just got a little too close to mind control Kuro across the tree line. Instantly, you see Liquid are confident to back away. They see no one farming elsewhere. PL still off in the jungle. BOT is coming next for mid 1, so Secret won't find their opening. At the same time, they do hold the tower.
How far do you think he'll need to be to take over this game? Especially against CK, PL.
I mean, he has an Oracle behind him, right? And they do have like the Lycan Owl as well, so I think they have some ways to help him tank up.
So do you feel it's more about how the rest of his team play rather than, you know, how farm he gets?
I think it's more about the Oracle.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they have a lot of damage, right? They have amp damage, great against Alchemist, who has relatively
They're running a mid one up top here.
Armor, but here comes the chase onto mid one. They want to kill up this PL.
And they will get it.
Huge pick off, no punish as Kezu just walks into the Necro army. Yapzor even trying to get his blink off, but constantly the minions are a problem. He's got to crush him back away.
Alchemist is joining the fight.
Though still get the jump onto GH, but Tumbaman wants to take this fight, not into that Maledict. That's
Miracle's coming in with their one stun. They're going to go on. Nice dodger by MP. They're going to try to walk it off. Miracle's chasing. He doesn't have his ultimate. They can turn on him right now.
Good snare by Kuro, but now the Death Ward coming through. Kuro's down and Liquid have to retreat. The stun lobs out. God, if they had the PL, Secret would be diving so hard right now, but they just don't have the pursuit.
But Tumbleman still standing in a very forward position. Kuro is out of the fight. They get picked off very fast, and that's where that's the state of the game where you look like, we just want to have more stuns, How do you chase in a situation like that?
Just patiently, I think you can be content with the PL kill.
Yeah.
You don't have to go for more at that point.
And I think they shouldn't have. As soon as they miss their stun, we're going to watch that one more time. They do go for the Night Stalker to start things off, and then you see the Alchemist coming down from the river. The stun will miss, and right at that point, I think it was time to back off.
Yeah. By MP. Because Rowdy Rift does have a bit of like a cast animation compared to, say, a Manta.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, the Alchemist stun isn't, the fastest traveling projectile, so.
Well, Yule's now complete. So while you might want to see a blink from Kezu, this could be a tool to keep that Oracle out of the fight as long as possible while they try and focus Miracle down. See how it pans out for Secret. Still, though, feels like overall they're kind of playing Liquid's game, right? It's a good out game. There's some big Aghanims upgrades here. The Venomancer Ags upgrade is great. The Night Stalker one, fantastic. And
do you want to play that game right now on the main stage? Who do you want to give the Ags to first out of his allies? I mean, my vote is on the Night Stalker. But
I definitely think you need a plus armor item. Like, you're not going to rush an Ag.
Oh, no, no way. Like, I'm talking about once he's comfortable with his item slot and he's feeling rich, start to dole out some Ags.
Yeah, I think so. I think Night Stalker is probably the ideal one. Just because against Batrider, the vision is so important. You cannot let him get the jump. Secret are smoked up, though. They haven't been particularly successful in these smokes, but they're going to try it again. Scouting out Matumba Man, but look at the position of Kuro Lumi. Tucked in the trees, up above his core. Liquid are definitely anticipating Secret's movements well now. And they haven't been able to find that big fight. The way their lineup works, they want to just catch a hero out and then keep on chasing everyone down with diffusal charges, reality rips, the Batrider pursuit. But in fact, the charge going the other way. Mid one is being forced back. They got the armlet, they got the diffusal, they got the drum Zules, and the blink on the Slardar, and they're just not fighting.
They're definitely respecting the fact that there is quite a bit of vision on the side of Team Liquid.
Is there a way to deal with that for Secret? Like anything they could do to get vision back?
I mean, you could put down wards, but as soon as Night Stalker press darkness, a lot of your vision is just gone. Mind Control could plop down his own wards as well to, like that, just give him a little bit extra sight outside of the Roshan pit. They know Rosh is going on, but it's hard to initiate it. And this is a spot where you wish Batrider has a lasso, Blink Lasso rather.
Well, they're trying to bring in the whole gang, but by the time they get to the pit, it's already too late. Instead, they're going to go in mid, locking down GH, and in a flurry of attacks, he should die. No Kuro's there with the save, but a three-hero front from Yapzor. A godly play by him. Still GH stays alive for a while, almost killing off Puppy, and now the chase is on. Liquid see an opening with that Venomancer all committed. MP dropping low. Do they drive forward? Mid one, kiting them from the side. However, he could get stunned here by the Algs. The crush comes through, looking for the save. And now, isolating Miracle, but he's just going to Manta and retreat. Still is the Aegis as well. Secret have to gang up here and try to rely on that Puppy heal to get them back towards safety. They do get the mid one kill in the end. They hang on, at least for now, to the Aegis.
Yeah, great trade here, if you ask me, for Team Liquid. Got the enemy core, you lost 2 supports, whatever. Miracle didn't die, he has
Aegis. They want to go back in. Secret are thinking about it. They don't have the lasso. Who do they jump on first? In the backlines, it's Mind Control. Without the Poison Nova, he should be an easy kill, but Miracle's there to the rescue. Bails his buddy out, keeps him alive, and forces Secret on their heels. Do they have a stun? The Void's cooling down. Oh, almost got it. GH. Mid-cast animation. So 2 cores now down for Secret.
Another kill given to Liquid. for free, basically, and they're going to lose buildings from it. If you fight into an Alchemist, you better be damn sure that you have enough to take him down, or take his team down. And Team Secret had neither. Miracle, as soon as he pops that ultimate, they were able to take down the tier 2 and just start to farm off the enemy jungle. I think Liquid have stabilized. I think they might have able to recover from this game 2 situation. I mean, they're up 7k, and that might seem like a lot, but let me remind you of game 2 of the Liquid's last series, where there was an enemy Alchemist on the other side. They were up like 10, 15k, and Liquid eventually came back, but I think they have stabilized.
Oh, they find KheZu now with the Void coming through. He goes for the Yules, but quickly getting purged off. Down he goes. Kuro on point. And Secret on the run, continually being picked off. The Wolves are scouting. Matumba Man knows there's additional heroes lurking here. He sounds the cry to chase forward. The BOT plays for Miracle, locking onto MP, looking to finish off the Chaos Knight. Liquid are going to get another. All of a sudden, 12-12, but that does not tell the story of this game.
No, it does not.
The Radiant Courier at least sniped something for mid 1, a small consolation prize, but the real victory is all Liquid's right now. As they continue to scratch and claw, try to force that game 3. They're definitely well back into this one. It's just crazy to think how it started. Puppey was walking around freely as a Witch Doctor, racking up kills. You had a dual lane Veno Lycan that was still almost losing, it felt like, to a Batrider.
I mean, I think
things have changed.
I think one of the key points to point out, given how the game state is going, is that, yes, Team Secret was ahead from the laning stage, but they didn't really have heroes that could get further ahead. Like, sure, you did well in the lanes, but you weren't pushing towers, right?
They don't have like an anti-mage with the Battle Fury, an Alchemist with a Radiance, and they didn't have, they didn't have to blink on the Batrider to even set up those kills, so they gave Liquid a little breathing room. And
I'm thinking more heroes like Pugna, right? Like, if you get well in the laning stage, you start blasting towers, you start constricting what Liquid could do, where they could farm. True. But they couldn't. I mean, eventually, sure, you have illusion heroes. Eventually, you can push tower, but that's eventually. That will take too long, and it did take too long. Liquid has had more than enough time. Unless Miracle makes some sort of big misplay, I think if he plays safe, this could be Liquid's game.
All does hang in the balance. Their TI lives very much on the line. They leave him mid for now, but the BOTs can bring him to join the team. Yep. Liquid commence their push, a little chip damage on bottom, taking a couple hundred points of health away from that tower. Still, the tier 1 remains top, something that Secret would sure love to eradicate.
But they're going to lose in tier 2. Also, when I say Miracle needs to, play good, same thing with Kuro, right? I'm kind of counting them as a joint unit at this point. False Promise for your Alchemist, that's the combo. Here we go, High Ground Siege.
Cast comes a bouncing, Puppey trying to slow this down, but Miracle is undaunted up front. At least for now, the Necro Book gets forced away, but already this tower has taken a heavy punishment. 900 health bond. Still the tier 1 health holds top, and now they chase after mid 1. Matumba Man sicking his minions on the PL. Gonna force him back, as meanwhile these Alkallusions, quite an infestation on the Secret side of the map, and they look perhaps a little more. Alk stun lobbed out.
Very composed push. I think a lot of teams would have seen, hey, we're up on the high ground, we got the Lycan, we got the Wolves, we got the Summon, let's just take the tier 3, but Team Liquid, recognizing that the enemy shrine is still up, they could be very liable to get backstabbed. Last time it was the Absol getting a 3-man Slithering Crush. That could just, end their lead. So playing it very safe. Miracle does get the Corrosive Haze on him, but you could easily dispel that with a Mantis out. He'll probably do so soon.
So Secret identifying that they need 2 BKBs here. Mid 1 is going for 1 simultaneously. We do see MP has just completed his, just got the gold now. So they're going to go for another timing with the BKBs, look to really take the fight to Liquid. Do you think they'll be able to fight into Liquid with these, or are they still lacking?
To me, it isn't about the BKBs. Don't get me wrong, the BKB is going to be nice. Like, it's going to prevent the stuns from coming out. It's going to make heroes like Night Stalker as well as Venomancer somewhat ineffective. But to me, the ultimate thing is, are you finding Kuro? Can you kill him before he lets off his spells? Because once you kill him, then you have real methods to control Alchemists.
But they don't have the vision, right? Like, you've got on the side of Liquid, you have a Night Stalker and the Wolves constantly scouting, giving you information. Like, where's the vision for Secret? It's maybe an Amplify Damage or Corrosive Haze here or there, an Illusion scouting in the woods. Like,
yeah,
they don't have a great vision.
I mean,
here.
they have Batrider, it'll help a little bit. But I think this is where Shadow Blade helps, you know, from heroes like Slaughter or even the Bat. No-Tail has been a big fan of getting Blink Dagger on the Chaos Knight, where you could, you know, use for just your hero and also kind of pull your illusions into the fight if you want. Maybe that's something MP will consider, but it looks like he's going to just bulk up. He's going to go for the AC.
While he's bulking up, Miracle is already swole. Banging away at this tier 2 top. Shiva's Guard complete. Octarine on the way. Alk at 22k net worth. All the problems he had early, they feel long gone. Liquid are now about to siege. Grouping up top, shoving that lane in. Roche could be up soon, so they don't want to do it just yet. And Matumba Man's going to sprint to bottom, or at least thinks about it. 6th the Necrobook inside this Dire base, all the way to the tier 3
Gonna hit
tower.
tier 3, yeah.
For now, at least, there was a moment of backdoor, but that is gone, and now tower nearly down. If they kill this off, the Shrine's going to be accessible. One more hit, he does it! Oh, that is huge.
Yeah.
Shrines have been opened up. Instantly, GH is onto it.
But they might get backstabbed. Here comes Team Secret.
Secret could have found their opening here. The crush to start, and they catch up. Of all heroes, they catch out Kuro. That's really bad for Liquid. They need to retreat, get out quickly. GH, looking for the corrosive haze there, but he somehow manages to
Link
flat
in 1 second.
Flame Break coming through is going to connect. He makes it back to safety. If it's only Kuro, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, the lanes are way too pushed. Look at Mind Control's position. You know, he's like, hey, I see Kuro gain jump. I'm going to just push top. Now you have to respond to that. As you're responding to that, our other lanes are going to get pushed out. Team Secret says this is our small opening to get the mid-wave push in and maybe look for a little bit more.
Gapsor still hunting. Diving after the Night Stalker at nighttime. That is a tall order. Meanwhile, you see Mind Control infesting this top lane, just constantly shoving it in, trying to draw some heroes back, at which point his team can go and try to deal with some Shrines. So the BKBs are complete now. When does Secret get their next fight? They're not itemizing to play greedy. They're not trying to really itemize to just farm their way back into this. That's never the ideal scenario against an Alex to try and play his game, but continue to slip behind the longer that clock runs. And now MP getting caught out here, silenced up. Alex Stud coming through. It's not the longest duration. The Shiva's connected as well, but he gets back to safety. Now it's Puppey who's caught out. Do they turn? Do they fight? When will Secret make their stand? It's not now. Puppey's down. MP hesitates, blows the BKB, still goes down, and it's off to the races. Matumba Man charging in. They can descend on this tower, and a flurry of auto attacks look to bring it down. They force mid one on his heels. Liquid turn back for objectives now. Focus, eyes on the prize. Single-minded. They just want these towers. They want the racks. They don't care about Secret's heroes. It's an even game in kills, but that's not Dota. Dota is a game of buildings, and that's exactly what Liquid are taking down. Melee racks have fallen. They want more. Looking for the range. They still stick around. They're not even hesitating for the time being. The range will drop, and still no sign of answer.
They could maybe get Matumba Man on the way out, but I think they're happy to sacrifice him. No, they're going to leave him.
Lasso still available, but Kuro just sits back waiting with the false promise. He's going to get Yules, and now the lasso comes through, but Kuro purges it off anyway. Matumba Man going to be able to walk away freely. Maybe GH doesn't even go down here. Secret are committing their BKBs, potentially their lives, to this hold, and it seems like they're losing. They even shrine up, but the Ox Stun comes through. Miracle on the onslaught here, charging forward, forcing Secret back. Mid one wants to fight. Still, BKBs have been expended. Is this really their time? But Matumba Man's at full HP right now. The Lance comes through. I think Liquid are content to back away, but they need that shapeshift. They're still trying to kill him. Finally, he'll get that kill, but doesn't really feel like it matters. Buildings have fallen. Heroes have died. Long duration BKBs expended. Roche is about to respawn. I don't know that Secret are in position to contest it, Lumi.
Yeah, I feel like Team Liquid gave away a little bit too much there. There was no reason to... if GH dies, you know, whatever. We're going to watch the team fight one more time. I believe this is just going to be the first half of the team fight where Team Liquid feels like they're strong enough and they're going to just run at them. There is no response whatsoever from Team Liquid. Sorry, Team Secret. Team Secret play much better when they're the one that's initiating with the Bat Rider, with the Slaughter. And that was just Liquid flexing. They're going in. Not much of Secret.
I mean, you can see the idea there for the Bat Rider of Kezu. Yules up the Oracle and then just go on somebody. But the range is long enough with the Aether Lens that Kuroki can still easily just purge that lasso off.
Had they done that like maybe 10 minutes earlier, that would have been a good plan. But sure, you Yules up the Oracle, but you're not killing people fast enough before he comes down.
That is the other thing.
Yeah. Like, what is your burst damage on the side of Team Secret? I guess the Chaos Knight.
It's a reality room.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
You know, he was struggling to get it into the right position at team fight as well.
So Liquid get one. Now they want the Roche. Bottom lane, remember, is exposed. Mid lane, still the tier 3 stands. It's going to be a tough siege for Secret to stop here, Lumi. Especially if an Aegis Cheese is a part of it. But really, how does Secret get near the pit? They got to worry about these lanes pushing in. There's a Night Stalker running around with the gem, flying out momentarily. They already seem to have trouble initiating trouble with vision. Troubles will continue to increase.
Yeah, they even feel confident enough to not give Miracle the Aegis. They put it on Matumba Man. This is generally a bad sign for the other team. Now there is 2 hypercores that you have to deal with. There's still Kuroki with his false promise on the backline that you have to kill before. And Kuro's got a Aether Lens, so he can stay even further away in a better position. This might be checkmate for Team Secret. It feels like it's already checkmate.
They're going to try, though. Secret moving out. They do have their BKBs double damage and bottled up by mid 1. This could be big.
Darkness ends.
Darkness ends, and maybe the opening comes
Links away!
YapzOr, though, crushing onto the Oracle. That's probably the ideal target. Now the lasso comes through on him. Mid 1 can commit. They drag him up, roast him in the flames, and Matumba Man gets aggressive. He fights into this. Miracle joins the fray. They're going to back up their friend here. Still that Oracle is alive through it all. Kuro survives. Secret are not getting kills with these BKBs. Finally, the Oracle will drop. The Lycan also brought down, but round 2 is much more painful. Miracle still full HP. Fighting forward is the Lycan. Liquid win the fight. 3 fall. They push in.
Well, they got the initiation they were looking for. Unfortunately, they didn't get the kill quickly enough. And meanwhile, Liquid.
Oh boy. Miracle. The cojones on this one. Here comes the Rapier. That is going to be huge for taking down these structures, but it's the kills that Miracle seems to want. He's diving for LP. He's diving with the Rapier. What's he doing? He has no fear. Kezu just runs away.
I think they're ahead enough, or even if he had lost the Rapier, it would have been fine. So this is more like, hey, we're winning this game so hard. I'm not even worried about giving a Rapier away. We're going to finish the game right now.
Yeah, out comes the Gale. Miracle finally using that Rapier for its proper purpose, which is to bring down buildings. They crush him. They can't control him, though. Liquid, Mega Creeps await. Game 3 awaits. Secret cannot close them out.
Call it GG.
What a shaky start, Lumi. That looked real dicey. Talk about composure. You're down 0-1. You're on the verge of elimination. Your lanes really go awry, and they somehow just stay calm under pressure. I mean, people look at Kuroki. We've seen him cast before, and he is a very